Hi everyone, I am Rajesh Kumar. I am having close to 16 plus years of experience in DevOps, SRE and DevSecOps. I have worked with more than 12 software organizations around the globe. I would like to introduce you all a DevOps School's flagship certification program in DevOps, SRE and DevSecOps. This program will get started in the weekends, so get enrolled. Please contact us on the phone number given on the screen, and in fact you can email us on the contact@DevOpsSchool.com. That means every region will have our own default VPC created by AWS. So if you see that here, rules, routing rules, see here, anyone which is hitting to the gateway, you see the target is gateway. So it will go to the destination from destination to the target gateway, and from this again you can go to the local machines, and this is the range actually. And which subnet this rule will apply. So I think I have no subnets right now, and so on. So this is the default one. So here you can write a rules, edit the rules, and you say destination from that it should go. So here from all places it will go to the internet gateway, and those who are trying to hit this range, then it should go to the local. Local means internal to the VPC. Got it?
Right, yeah. So this might be very useful when we are creating environments as well. So we can say the dev environment and all that could be configured just like how you have configured. In a certain range, if we use that certain range, then that goes to your local environments. And
yes. Okay. For this routing, all this connection, you need to have a very solid networking knowledge. So right now I'm not focusing on that, but rather than I'm helping you, how do we get started on AWS? Okay.
Cool. Yeah, thanks.
Okay, so now the question is, okay, finally you understand that there's a hell lot of components. Don't get lost in the services. Don't think I want to complete in one day VPC. VPC itself will take 6 months itself, more than that if you know networking, because a hell lot of new concepts are there. And basically using VPC, entire data center you can manage. Lots of things are there. So only focus on for time being this one. So now the question is, how do we create a VPC? So guys, there's a manually also you can create a VPC, then manually create a multiple subnet, then route a table, then internet gateway attached to it, and then NAT gateway. So internet gateway give you the internet. NAT gateway I did not talk about it, so let me complete that. So what happens? Let me draw the different picture. So this is a VPC, and this is VPC. You have a public network, and this is the private network. So here multiple instances are there. So when you configure the internet gateway, you route a table, through route a table, you send to the traffic to this internet public network. Public network, you have two machines running. So in these two machines, you get a internet. But you know, guys, here this is your running database server. This is the web server. You don't want internet here because someone can hack the machines of your internet. So what do we do in this case? So what we say, okay, we don't want to route that internet to the private subnet. We don't want to do that. So in that case, you don't have internet, no internet here, no internet here in this EC2 instance. So what to do in this case? So that is where we play the NAT gateway. So we play the NAT gateway. So NAT gateway is one of the machines which will be hidden in this. Okay. I'm just using a simple keyword so you will not understand, you will not confuse. So NAT gateway basically managed services is of AWS. Okay. So NAT gateway, because NAT gateway is creating a public subnet. So here also you have internet. Okay. Here also you have internet. So what they do, from the internet which is received from here, routing to this private subnet, and then here also you get the internet. So now understand this way. Here also got internet, here also got internet, but what is the advantage of it? So because of your internet is only controlled by the NAT gateway, which is hidden. So hacker, when they will go, they will maximum reach to this machine and this machine, but they will not be able to go directly to this machine. Why? Because there's no you don't know which is a NAT actually. Are you understanding?
Yes.
and this NAT gateway is managed services of AWS. So they will not be able to log into here, and from here you cannot go. So this is how you can get that. So this
It's
is
just
the
to
one.
manage like the database. If you want to manage the database, is that for that purpose? Like, if for whatever reason we want to go into the database and do any sort of checks and stuff, is that for that reason that we have this separate gateway just to access the databases?
No, we have a separate subnet, so this we want to protect that. We see wherever we have internet, you have a hackers. Here we are doing nothing, but we are having the internet in the database server, but only from this machine, which is dedicated for that. So locating this and reaching out to this machine is become very challenging.
So if the web tiers have to interact with the database, will it be through this network?
So the rule is any web server can talk to any database server. Within a VPC simple rule, any machines can talk to anyone provided security groups are allowed in VPC.
Okay.
Okay. So now these are the things which we needed. How do we create them? How do we create it? So guys, there is a one way which you can create each and every services through manual and configure it.
Yes. So hello.
Yes, tell me.
The NAT gateway. You have two web servers there. Are you going to have just one NAT gateway, or are you going to have two? Or how is it going to be positioned to serve the two web devices?
So NAT gateway is a managed service of AWS. Okay. So NAT gateway primarily located in a public subnet and is hidden. Okay, and that service will transfer the internet to the machine which is in the private subnet.
Okay.
Got it?
Yeah.
Okay, so now let's focus on the creating the things. Okay, so manually also each component you can create, and if you are preparing for certification and stuff like that, you should do that, because that way you learn the troubleshooting. But learning purpose, let me show you here. Create a VPC, and this image, this page is very nice. And here you want to create a VPC and more, or only VPC. I want to create a VPC and more. So here, if you see that very carefully, they have some fields. So what is the name of VPC? So here is project, you can change it. What is the CIDR for your network VPC? This is the one, you can change it. 65,000 address means 65,000 EC2 instance you create. Now, do you want the default tenancy means network? So dedicated, if you want, it will be very costly. Default, cheaper. How many availability zone you want? So 1, 2, 3, you can customize. Go for 2 right now, understanding purpose. That means 2 availability zone. So when you have a 2 availability zone, that means you'll have a subnet. So number of public subnet 0 or 2. So because of 2 availability zone, it got a 2.
Subnets.
Number of private subnets 2 or 4, depends on that. So right now 2. So here you see this image got created based on NAT gateway do you want. So NAT gateway here none. It's selected none. NAT gateway is chargeable also, by the way. Here $sign means is chargeable. VPC endpoints S3 gateway, whatever it is, just keep it. And DNS node name and create. But before clicking on the create, I want to explain you this image. You see that VPC has how many subnets? 4 subnets.
2 subnets. 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
And 2 subnets is in one availability zone and 2 subnets in another availability zone. Now, which subnet is using which route table, you have it in front. So there is a 3 route table got created. If you look at it very carefully, there is one public route table created from all the machine which is in public. Public means where you have internet. So if you see that in the each there is one subnet which is a public one. If you look at read the subnet, so each subnet you have each availability zone you have one public subnet and one private subnet. Okay, and that means public subnet we have internet, private subnet you don't have internet. If you look at it carefully, go for this public subnet, how they are getting internet. Look at this, So right side, if you see that, is the internet gateway. From the route table transferring all the internet to the public subnet. If you want to see that here, look at this. Again, route table, the one which I talked about it, is transferring the internet. Now, if you see the private subnet, you see there's no internet gateway. See that internet gateway is not attached. So it's attached to the project VPC S3 to the route table, and that's how it is. Are you able to understand this?
Yeah.
So this is a diagram, the same diagram. This one is also same diagram. Picturization is different. So now what to do? Create VPC. Done. So these are the resources will be created as part of that activity. You could have created each activities, each resources manually also for learning purpose. It will take a lot of time also understanding many things actually. So yes, you can do it and then view the VPC. So my VPC created. Now let me show you. So here project VPC is created, and if you see that how many subnets are there for this. So here CIDR, flow diagram, flow logs, you can enable it, and subnets for this default VPC here. Bottom 4 subnets, whatever you have, is for the mine one. Route table you got created. Earlier it was 1, now it should be 4, I guess. See here, 1, 2, 3. These are the route table. These 2 are belong to the previous. Internet gateway have a 2 route. One is default, and this is mine. And NAT gateway I did not create it, and so on. NAT gateway I don't have. So did you understand that how to create a VPC? Now you created a VPC, but how to use it? I think you know that. So here you go to EC2 and create an instance. And here I'll go for the old UI, and here you're familiar, select any AMI, and now you can decide this EC2 instance will be created in here. Look at this. What network? So before this is a default or mine. This is mine. Which subnet? So this machine should be a public subnet where you want the internet. Private subnet. Private subnet means database and all. You decide that where you want, and whether you want the auto assign public IP address, enable, disable, host name type. These all are networking setup which you can know. Got it, all of you?
Yes.
So this is where you can
Okay, one
customize your.
question.
Yeah.
So first we created, what you did when you say creating a VPC, because the first step was like creating a template. So we customized whatever changes we needed, and then we go here and then, we kind of instantiate it, kind of. Is that right?
Yeah. So first I created a VPC. They gave me the widget. So you have an option. One is creating each component manually also, but they gave me the widget. I just selected whatever I want. So I selected I want the private subnet, public subnet, 4 subnet, 1 route table, and all stuff like this. And they created for me the image, the one which I was showing you. It was a live image.
Okay. And after that, once you created the image, now we go and we kind of run an instance of it.
Yeah, that's what this networking is. This now you can run all the instance whatever. Earlier I was not selecting it because by default is selecting default. If you see the by default, but now we have to select it because if you have a 2 VPC, earlier I had only 1 VPC, so I was not selecting. So now you have to select subnet, which subnet you want public IP or not, host type, and DNS entries and also. Got it, all of you? Okay. Now guys, I want to show you, many things are self-driven, but I want to show you one thing, which is this one. Can you read it?
Yeah, user data.
User data, yes. So what is a user data? So sometimes you know what, you want to create a machine. At the same time, some of the script you want to run, some script or command you want to run in the machine during the boot time itself. Okay, it can be some deployment script, shell script, PowerShell script, Windows script, or anything. It can be any command, any script you want to run it. For example, in Windows, you can run PowerShell script easily. In Linux VM, you can run shell scripting. If it is a Python and all you have it, so you can run all that stuff. So how do you run it during the boot time? So for automation purpose, this is very important. User data. People will ask you this question actually. I want to create an instance and then I want to run some script.
Do that.
So during the boot time itself. So how can I do that? So you can say in AWS we have a user data. In Azure we have a custom data. So when you configure the instance, then only during the configuration you can select the what user data you want to run, what user data, which command, which script you want to run. So this is the interview question. So here you can give something like mkdir Raju and run this this, let's say the script file is located on the tmp some folder deploy.sh, like that. Let's say this is the, I'm assuming this is a Linux, but if it is a Windows, then C drive. And
if you would have any issues with our channel membership, you can drop an email to us at contact@devopschool.com, or you can also unsubscribe from channel membership anytime if you don't want to continue or did not like the video. Please be kind enough to like it, and you can comment any of your doubts and queries. We will reply to them at the earliest. Thanks for watching.